Okay, so finally getting around to working on Judge Dredd. It's been about a week, but I mean, there was really not much I could do before parts showed up. So I've been moving stuff out to the container and Matahari getting that squared away. So, but you won't see any of these videos until like Matahari's done, and it's been a while. Anyway, so I've got about maybe half hour, 45 minutes on it in. I think for the most part, I got everything off that needs to come off for cleaning. Unless there's, I mean, like I said, he's already got Comet bulbs in here, so I don't really need to replace those. So, because I did do a couple and they matched what I typically use. Like I think I did like, one side of his slings. So right now, I mean, you can see there's a couple rubbers still on here, but generally speaking, I did take that bulb out. I found a ball stuck under this. I was like, I wonder how long that ball was sitting right in that circle underneath everything. It's like, I wonder how long that's been there. Well, I would assume probably, well, unless they took the bulb out the bottom, which probably would have been a lot easier to unscrew the socket. I was going to say maybe it was after the LED, but they probably just unscrewed it because there's no, why take everything apart just to do a screw. So yeah, I think everything is off because I don't really, I'll kind of vacuum and wipe off that stuff down there, this little plastic tray down here. But the ball doesn't get on there physically, so it doesn't really need cleaned. You can kind of see through that hole. I will need to take out the trough from the bottom side. But right now I'm just trying to get all the top side stuff. Then I'll get it back together. Then I'll lean it up and I'll worry about, the flipper rebuilds and bulbs. And it has some of those, it's wedge bulbs on the circuit board. And I know he said some of those aren't working. It's probably kind of like how it was on Demolition Man. We're just trying to put the wedge bulb in there. It's like soldered in at a 90-degree angle and they just kind of break. So wouldn't be surprised. That's, I got to pull out those boards and resolder some connections. But overall, I mean, it's, who knows? It's home use. So this could be 10 years worth. I don't know. A bunch of the black rubbers are cracking and falling apart. I've already been throwing them away, but they're just kind of, well, if that'll focus, you can see like that's, and they're all just kind of like that. So, going good. I'll go through and I'll clean. This game has a lot of optic sensors in it. I already got my cart, filled with parts with roughly where they came from and taking 200 pictures. So that's also, like I said, I don't think, I may take out this ramp, in case, I just want to clean the underside of it. I may take that out, see if that polishes up any better. This little piece, I don't know, I might take it out just because it's only those 2 screws right there and clean it better. But technically, as far as like where the ball goes, I can get to everything from here. The hardest spot's going to be just this 1 inch underneath that ramp, but that's simple to get in there. So that's the next step. Like I said, I've been in it, I'd say 45 minutes at the worst. I'm not even sure what time it is. Yeah, it's 2:30. So been on about 45 minutes. Not too bad. Got it all stripped. So I'll probably spend a half an hour at least just scrubbing what's here. And then I'll have to work on the wire forms and the ramps and stuff. So, I'll probably have a couple hours in just cleaning it. Flippers definitely need rebuilt. That's about it. This isn't really a big, hard job. I did notice there's some like dirt behind his screen here, and he has a color LCD in here. So I'll probably take that apart and clean the back side of that. It does need all those bulbs are yellow, so those need all replaced. So just going on. I mean, even, you got your 2, I guess it's, yeah, there's 3 balls locked in here because you have 1 here, 1 here, 1 back here. So there's 3 there. I was thinking it was like the car where there was 2, but this one has 3. So I don't know why. This game reminds me a lot of Demolition Man. So, claw, crane, whatever in the corner. A lot of ramps. So there we go. Not much else to say, so I guess I'll shut up and get back to work, right? See you guys later. Okay, so I'm cleaning the ramps on Judge Dredd over here. And I found a good way to give you a little before and after. So that part I haven't done yet. The bottom half I have done. See how it kind of disappears? Crazy. Okay, ended up getting a ton of work on this done yesterday. So I thought I'd do a little quick video. The top side is pretty much done. I'll do like a final coat of wax. Like I've done several thick coats of wax back there because, you know, who knows the next time you'll get to them. As you can obviously tell, all the plastics are back on. They're all cleaned. Cleaned all the metal rails. Got all the new got all the new rubber on here for the flippers and posts. Pretty much went with like somebody had posted like an orange, light blue, yellow setup here. So I'm just kind of going with those. Been going through doing LEDs and everything. One thing I want to point out, like this is 4 different colors. And these are LEDs that I redid the condoms on. There's basically, it's like a rubber cap. But I just used 4 white ones. There you go. So you can see there's 4 good colors there. That one's still incandescent. Not really much different. So that actually shows you the green, red, yellow, and white. So there we go. I did run out of LEDs though. Just the back box alone took 51 wedge bulbs. And then going through all the stuff that I had to get through immediately. I was really trying to wait until we get to Thanksgiving for like Black Friday. But I just went ahead and ordered another 100 pack because I'm out of wedges and we're still out. I mean, even if, you know, they're quick on shipping and stuff like that, it's still going to be, you know, that's going to put me out a couple weeks. So it's like, well, so on that note, yeah, obviously I've started on the bottom side because I've been doing, you know, a bunch of these are LEDs. Like that whole circuit board had to be fixed. I'll tell you what, let me go ahead and I'm going to pause this and lift the playfield and kind of show you. Okay, so that's one of the boards. I had to take that out and basically resolder all those legs, get all those working again. There's another board, that whole board right there. Got all those working. These are the ones you can see, those are now cool whites, but they got different color caps on them. And then like over here, you know, that's the incandescence. So besides that, like I know, like I did a little test play on it. I haven't rebuilt the flippers or anything yet, but like whenever it popped up error test report, it was talking about like one little thing I noticed, the switch didn't work. Well, if I sit here and move it, I can hear it clicking and like all these wires are fine. So I was like, well, mental note, just kind of, you know, put that in the back of my head for later. Then I'm down here working on that board. And what I see, white with blue, disconnected, supposed to go right there as part of the, because it's all switch matrix. There's white with blue. So I'm going to guess that that might be my problem for why that rollover up there doesn't work. So one more thing, I just, you know, kind of add it to the list. Shouldn't be bad though. But then you got stuff like this, like, just, you know, missing. But I got to rebuild the flippers. That's, you know, like I said, that's my next step here. So, yeah, most of the bottom I've been going through, yeah, just LEDs, but I'm stuck. I can't do any more LEDs. Some of these will have to get, you know, kind of, I had to unplug a ton of stuff to take it out the top of the playfield to take everything off. So right now I just kind of got it all plugged back in to make sure everything works. So those still kind of need fastened up and tidied up a little bit. Then I'll have to go through and I'll clean the inside of the cab. You know, it'll need vacuumed and stuff like that. I put the dryer sheet in here. Had a little bit of a smoky kind of smell to it whenever I got it a couple of weeks ago, so I just kind of tossed that in there a little bit. I'm not a fan of cigarette smoke. So I guess that's about it. I guess a little bit of an update. This place is getting pretty empty. I mean, that's a pile that we know where it goes, so it's kind of already been through. Only a couple things on that table, filing cabinet and stuff. All the stuff on the other side of the table, that whole back area is cleaned out and emptied. So I mean, we're getting pretty close. The stuff behind me is trash. So I mean, I don't know, that looks like a lot, but that's only like 2 or 3 totes right there. So I don't know, this place is looking pretty empty pretty quick, so I'm pretty proud of it. Besides that, I'm on vacation right now, so I'm just trying to get as much done as I can, but I'm stuck. Well, I can go ahead, and that's what I'm going to start doing today. I'm going to rebuild the flippers on this. I guess once I rebuild the flippers, then I am done until bulbs show up, but I did order some. I gave in. So, but there we go. I'm also going to hunt and make sure, because sometimes I'll grab a bag to take with me if I'm going to a customer's house or something, you know, or a buddy's house to work on stuff. I'll grab a bag of bulbs just to have with me. I do need to pull that trough out and clean the inside of that ball trough. So that's going to be time consuming. It's kind of buried in there. So, but, oh well. It's going pretty good. No big issues yet. That switch that didn't work was really the first thing. It was kind of like, oop, that's going to be troubleshooting. Oh, speaking of troubleshooting, so I'm trying to make sure all the bulbs work, everything like that, and I go into flasher test. None of the flashers work. What's going on? Start checking voltages on the board. You're supposed to have 20 volts on test point 7, and I'm going through that. I don't have 20 volts on test point 7, and one that, you know, I spend like half an hour on this, and I'm going through everything. What the heck? Why don't any of my flashers work, right? Well, come to find out, if the coin door's open, you know, to hit the menu buttons, you know, the flashers don't work. It shuts them off. So half an hour wasted just because I had the coin door open. I didn't know that you had to have that shut for flashers. So that's just going to be I haven't worked on this many, you know, this era, you know, many DMDs really. So I guess it's kind of one of those things you learn, but there was a half an hour gone. Okay, well, I'm going to rebuild some flippers, and I will see you guys later. Okay, so I'll admit I don't really know anything about this game. I played it like twice before I started working on it. But one thing I think is interesting is, you know, right here you have the subway, because, you know, you have, you know, that shot where it comes through the behind the drop target. There's a channel here, it goes in, comes up and around, and then ejects. But what I noticed is they also gave it, let's see, it goes on here this way. They gave it a provision right here, you know, a little end piece. So that way, if a ball gets in here, it does fall out and go back into this trough. I'm not sure how a ball would get in there, or if a ball is supposed to. There's not really any like lines, like a typical, you know, it lands here and comes around and pops out. But I find that interesting. I don't know if it was just but then at the same time, I also wonder, it must be something I just don't know about this game. But you can see right there, it hooks on, so that way it can get into the trough, and obviously I need to clean all this stuff. But I'm just kind of curious as to, you know, there's no like obvious way that it just dumps a ball down in there. So I'm kind of curious about how that happens, or I don't know, I'll talk to the owner whenever I get it all back together and play a couple of games on it. But just thought I just got the flippers rebuilt and those all done. So now I'm getting ready to do this subway system. Try to clean that wood off a little bit, but fun. Okay, here we go. So it's been a pretty busy couple weeks, so I haven't really got around to, you know, I was kind of showing like working on it. I mean, it was this is, like I've said 100 times, this has been pretty much just bulbs, rubbers. It hasn't really been a crazy job or anything. So, yeah, I went to put together the second video for this. I'm trying to spread things out because I know there's probably going to be a delay here in a little bit. So the game's actually been completely done for at least a week, if not more. But anyway, I've got to go back and add this to the part 2. So it's completely done. So all new bulbs in the back glass and then behind the translite. Cleaned the topper off for them. Cleaned out the I took the screen out and cleaned all the inside of that because it was a little foggy. As you can see, ball trails pretty much gone. Multiple layers of wax in there. Cleaned all the ramps. I just try to polish them up as much as possible. Took a magic eraser to all the metal work and stuff, trying to get that as bright and shiny as possible. Replaced all the LEDs in it. All the new rubbers. Went with a light blue down here. The rest is basically just red and yellows. So there's yellow, red. One thing I'm really glad about how it came out, this was really washed out in a video, and you can see it's kind of just blurs all the colors together. The white with the 4 different colored caps really helps with the separation. I was hoping I was going to go ahead and do it here real quick. There we go. So, but that looks a lot better, I think. So I was going to say, that's pretty much it. Right now there is a purple. It's like a big, like 3-inch disc. It's not a normal, like, pop bumper disc. It's a big one. It's in there right now, and it's purple. Maybe I'll have to see how it goes. But I probably will be placing a comment order from them. I'm kind of waiting on their Black Friday stuff. So I'm going to order a couple. It's just like a outer ring. I'm going to order some of those, and one of those is red because I want to try that outer ring in this, see how that looks. Maybe do a white bulb in the middle with a red ring or something. But this does have the 2 red outside bulbs, so I'm not sure. Which those are just kind of, yeah, those are hard to see right now. But besides that, yeah, cleaned everything. Clean, scrubbed. I don't know what else to really say. There was a wire form missing back in there, so there was a ball stuck. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. Like I keep repeating myself. So, but, yeah, I had to resolder some sockets for bulbs underneath the play field. That's kind of normal on this era. So, but there you go. It is, let's say, I moved a couple games. I got a tournament next weekend. So I just thought, you know, when the remodel's done, that game's going to be out here, that game's going to be out here, and a couple more. But I figured for now, let's just go ahead and lighten the load a little bit in the other room. And I hung like an old tapestry thing I had over the window because I noticed late, about 2 or 3 o'clock yesterday, there was a lot of light coming in that window. So just kind of, for now, I ordered a real curtain and stuff, but went ahead and hung that. So, to give you a little sneak peek, obviously you can tell this whole area is cleaned up. Cabinet's gone. That was on the wall. It's going on that wall up there. So all the stuff over there is going, well, all that stuff belongs in that cabinet. And that cabinet's going on that wall right there. So, but this room is pretty much, you know, pile of trash. You know, we just got some little miscellaneous knickknacks here, and that shelf needs to come down. We're doing good. I got the pole moved. Need to work on that workbench, but we're doing good considering today's actually Thanksgiving that I'm doing this last little part. So if you look back at the earlier part of this video, even of part 2, if you go back to the beginning, you'll see the game was sitting right here. Well, that pole was over there, and it was in front of that pole. You can just see the room's just filled. So we're doing good. And I started running like some of the wiring through the ceiling for the new lights. I've already started doing that. Just kind of, if I have time, let's go ahead and start doing stuff. So, you know, because this stuff's not mine. I'm not going through it. So if I kind of have downtime or whatever, I want to be in here working on stuff for this. Like, for instance, right here is an Ethernet cable that I have come down, because this is going to be a large touchscreen monitor, and you can basically just touch the screen and change all your scores and scroll through all my games and just tap and go through everything on that wall. Put a 24-inch monitor. So then, like I said, move these games out here. So yeah, I mean, this is just a little miscellaneous stuff. So we're doing good. So my wish list was to have this room cleaned out by the end of the year, and I've got another month. So I'm doing great, I think. So anyway, this is going to be it for Judge Dredd. I haven't really had a time to play it much. I did do a live stream of it the other day where I was kind of trying to figure it out, but and then I noticed the ball lock thing wasn't working. It was working, but this is like adjustable. Well, it's like you can lift it up or whatever. Well, it was like, I don't know, somehow it wasn't dropped just all the way back down. So once I came in here and just kind of went like that, it fell all the way back. It dropped down another inch. I was like, okay. So, but there you go. Give me about a week or so and I'll do a video, like some gameplay. We'll try to learn this thing a little bit. So see you guys later.